Hey everybody, so I decided to jump on the mermaid bandwagon in my own way this year for 2019. I am doing unicorn hippocampus, which is a horse with a mermaid's tail. And I was trying for the first one to use only dip pen, but I found the dip pen restrictive when I was making long lines and wanted varying thicknesses, the thicker lines. So for this one, this was my second one, I used my Kuretake brush pen, which has natural bristles and is filled with carbon platinum ink. And then I went back and created that gouache strip background with Arteza gouache. I was led astray by a number of artists I follow on YouTube who were given Arteza gouache and asked to review it on YouTube, and they said wonderful things about it. This stuff is horrible. I'm never gonna use it again after I use it up. But you can see then I went to watercolor for the rest of the piece. And there's my mini palette by Stephanie Law, the artist Stephanie Law. She's created these gorgeous ceramic palettes that are perfect for carrying with you and mixing and having a variety of colors all in one place. This one is filled with my Holbein watercolors. They are little 5 milliliter, I think, tubes that I got in a set of 60 off of Amazon, and I adore them. And you can see me just mixing up different colors in one of the wells, and then I add that color, just dip into that pool and add that color to my illustration. And it takes a little bit of a delicacy. Sometimes I go over the lines. It's not really a big deal. I tend to embrace the beauty of watercolor and its unpredictability. And I am not sure how this whole month is gonna go and whether or not I'm gonna make it through all 31 days of May. And if I don't, that's fine. I just thought it would be fun to keep with my unicorn theme because they really light me up. Keep my illustrations relatively simple with just that gouache bar. Of course, the gouache bar was meant to be higher quality, but I'll discuss that in just a second. And there is the final piece for day number 2. Okay, this is just to highlight how patchy this gouache is. It's supposed to be opaque. Gouache is supposed to be opaque, but you can see how patchy it is. And if I hold it up to the window, just look at how streaky it is. It's really, really poor quality. And I can't believe that I listened to so many of my favorite artists who said that it was great because this is nasty. So anyway, that's my little rant on being misled about Arteza gouache. Apparently, I don't know, maybe they got some really bad reviews, and so they were trying to counter it by giving the product to higher profile artists to try and get some fake good reviews. But I do not recommend it at all. Definitely invest in higher quality professional gouache like Holbein or Winsor & Newton or Schmincke. I mean, this stuff is fine, I guess, for a sketchbook if you don't care about the opacity, if you don't care about the streaking, if you don't care about the texture and having to use a lot, then sure, go for it. But, you know, I was actually kind of hoping that the series would, I don't want to say be a more professional series, but I was kind of hoping the quality would be a little bit higher. And just because of the poor quality of the Arteza gouache, you know, it limits the quality of each of my pieces now. And of course, I could go back and do them over again, recreate them, if you will. But this is just an exercise for May, trying to jump back in the swing of things art-wise since we did move to our new apartment this past week. I moved my son and dogs and I to a new little apartment that is closer to town. So it'll make it a little bit easier to, rejoin activities like the Roaring Fork Drawing Club, which meets weekly in and around Carbondale, Colorado. Things that I love, but I missed because we did live so far outside of town and I had to be home for my son to get off of school, etc. So we are now closer and there's a lot more natural light in this apartment than there was in our last apartment over the winter. And so as you can see, I am making use of the natural lighting. Although this video here is actually at one of my 2 offices. I am taking a little art break before I begin work for the day and have the office to myself. So really making use of the natural light anywhere and everywhere I can. It inspires me, as does the scenery outside. So I'm facing a big, huge wall of windows that look out on trees and rocks and the Frying Pan River, and just really enjoying this self-care. I hate that term, it feels so cliche, but self-care, if you will, of doing something I enjoy for me, playing around, experimenting. None of these are planned before I start them. I just do a quick sketch with my Palomino Blackwing pencil and then ink it. Again, the first one I tried to ink completely with dip pen and it didn't work so well. And I've found I have a little bit more control with my natural bristle brush pen that is filled with carbon platinum ink. So I just continued painting. The stripes actually came after a slight accident where I got too much ink on the paper, and then I thought, how can I fix this so it doesn't look like a mistake? And so I created the stripes. And then I thought bright colors would be fun to try. So each one, like I said, every day is going to be an experiment, and I'll probably keep the gouache bar consistent even though Arteza gouache is crap. But other than that, I'm giving myself the freedom to play and explore. So I hope that was fun for you to watch. Thanks for being here. And here is the finished piece for day number 3.